Hey, it's Sally Steele of Vegas Rocks TV, and we're here at the Desert Moon Studios with Count 77, Danny and all the boys. Woo! All right. Talk about Vegas. We got some great stories here for you, and we're going to start. We're going to introduce ourselves. Right. What's your name, sir?
I am Danny Koker, a.k.a. The Count.
Okay. All right. Known for years, been a little legendary part of Vegas. Introduce yourself.
John Zito.
Paulie D.
A.k.a. Ringo.
Stoney Curtis.
Barry Barnes.
Okay, we got the introductions out of the way. Now, first of all, I'm very excited. You're going to be the band to break out of Vegas really big, so we can't wait.
I pray you're right. We all pray you're right. That would be absolutely awesome. Things have been going magnificent with this band. There's so much dedication between this band. It truly is a band of brothers and a band of musicians, and the new record is amazing, and we can't wait to show it off, frankly.
We're going to talk a lot about the new record, but I got some questions. First of all, now, did you always want to be a singer?
I always was, believe it or not, Sally. I mean, I come from a music family. My father brought me up singing. I sang gospel music since I was a child till well into my young adult life, and then I had stepped away from music for probably a good. I'm really going to give away my age, but probably for almost a good 25 years, I stepped away from music, and then I was blessed with a magnificent rock and roll club. I was blessed with a magnificent group of musicians that came into that club for jam sessions. I was blessed with the John Zito Electric Jam that we used to hold down there on Sundays. Now it's on Wednesday.
You're talking about Vamped, of course, and Vamp's Count Custom.
Yeah, and jamming in there. One day these guys got me up and got me doing some stuff. And it felt good, I'll be honest with you. It really felt good. And it was like, man, I miss this part of my life. And people are familiar with the bikes, and people are familiar with the cars, and people are familiar with the Vampire. But not too many people are familiar with the music. But the music has always been there. And these cats are my brothers, and they have brought that back out for me. And it has actually just been really good for my soul. So it all happened at a Zito jam session.
Oh, cool.
The five of us accidentally ended up on the same stage at the same time.
That's right.
And we did a fistful of things together, and afterwards we were all looking at each other like, dude, did you feel that? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing.
It was originally, now, Stoney, you came into the band a little bit later, isn't that right?
Well, I was probably, I think I was the last one selected in the draft. I think I was. Right. Well, I mean, Paul and John and Barry were the house band. They were the ones doing the jam. And John and I, of course, knew each other through the blues scene, right? And then Barry was playing in the band with me. So I would go, of course, hang out with my buddies, right? And we'd get up and jam. And I mean, I can almost remember it like it was yesterday when Barry called me. It was like 11 in the morning, which Barry knows is ridiculously early for me. But for some reason, I answered the phone, and he told me, he goes, hey, we're thinking about putting this band together, and Danny's going to sing, and we want to know if you want to be a part of it, And I was like, yeah, absolutely, right?
Just like that.
So, and it really was
That easy,
that
fast.
easy, yeah, that fast. I mean, and for all of us to kind of connect the way we did, and the chemistry that we have, it's cosmic.
It's all great.
I mean, it really is a synergy that you can't fake it,
It's all real, brother man, like as the Count says. All right. Of course, we all know Johnny. Did you know John used to be? You auditioned for my rock band.
Dancer.
An exotic dancer.
Back, right, wasn't it?
In the late '80s, John was so cute. He drove a black Corvette, and I had a crush on him, but we could never get to first base because he was too shy. I would like tease his hair and like, oh, you got to look like this, like Motley Crue. He said, no, I want to look like more Joe Perry, but he was so cute.
He looked like a cross between Joe Perry and Warren D. Martini at their prettiest.
There's a little Joe Lynn Turner in there too.
And Joe Lynn
a little
Turner,
Joe Lynn
absolutely.
Turner in there as well.
And then we just did the photo shoot here, and of course everybody borrowed John's clothes because he's got his image down. He's so cute. We love John.
Full Zito-ness today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Full Zito-ness.
All right, cool. So now you just did David Letterman, and I saw you giving props to all the band members. So it's only a matter of time before you get on all these talk shows. Now, what has anything happened since that show? A lot of people see you, obviously.
I got my fingers crossed. The whole Letterman interview was probably one of the most surreal moments in my life to walk out, because you don't get to meet Dave before it. No, there's no pre-chatting with Dave. You talk with his producers and things like that. That's about it. So the first time you meet the man is walking out there in front of everybody. And Dave's one of those guys that he either loves you or he doesn't. And fortunately, thank the good Lord above, he turned out to be an honest fan of the TV show Counting Cars. And so he knew, he really knew who I was and treated me so kind. His entire staff treated me so kind. Everybody that works on that show was so absolutely kind. It was beyond surreal. At this point, we just did the Big Dog show, man. I mean, that's David Letterman. So, at this point, my publicist is working on opening some other doors. They seem to be some very positive doors. And my desire, my goal is I want to get this band, I want to get us, I want to get our guys on one of these late night shows. No disrespect, man. Sometimes I see some of these late night shows and I wonder who in the world are picking the bands for these shows. It just kind of blows my mind sometimes where that happens. So I'm praying that this band will get that opportunity, and I believe that's going to happen.
Well, we all know, and the word around town here in Vegas, in case you don't know, is, everything Danny Koker touches turns to gold. So I'm sure you guys will be out with a gold record real quick. One thing I want to ask you on the Letterman now, did you hear from a lot of people that you haven't heard of after that?
I've heard from people that I haven't heard from in well over 30-some years. People coming out of the woodworks, and tragically, most of them want something. So I just
But you used to have bikes. A little bit off track here. Now you used to, of course, we all know your famous motorcycles, and you built motorcycles for Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue and everybody. Yep. What do they think of Counting Cars?
I honestly don't know, to be honest with you.
What's Ozzy think?
That's awfully funny. It's the last time I talked to Ozzy, that was actually kind of a special moment. So I'm actually going to keep that one to myself. I can't really even talk about that. But yeah, I don't know what they think of the show. He didn't
mention that. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't tell you. We do have some pretty big names that like the show. I mean, we were fortunate enough to have people like Ziggy Marley was on my show. We actually restored his dad Bob Marley's Mercedes, his last car, which was amazing. And the Marley camp was just absolutely wonderful. We've had Rob Zombie on the show. He's a fan of the show. Built a wicked truck for him. We've got some special guests in the future, and I'm really not even sure how much of this I'm supposed to or allowed to say. But there's in the next run of shows you're going to see some other names in the rock industry that have contacted me to build some stuff for them.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
On its way up. Now, Stoney, tell me about the new album, and what kind of music. Obviously, 70s feel. Kind of tell us about it.
It's a polka record, right?
It's a polka record. Well, paying homage to my Polish roots.
Amen.
No, this record is it's a 70s style, as we've talked about it, we'd like to call it like modern classic rock. It's American rock and roll, delivered the way it's always meant to be delivered, right? Straight down the pocket, right? Straight down the middle, cool guitars, great rhythm section, and Elvis singing. Right. I mean,
the ghost of Elvis.
We're blessed because we got a front man who's got so much personality and charisma, but he's got the voice and the chops to back it up. And the great thing about it too is that you have this great American rock and roll band, and you have a guy that just has so much soul and so much that blues feel, but he sounds like no other. You know what I mean? When you hear him sing, you go, "That's Danny," right? You know what I'm saying? And I think all those great rock and roll bands, American rock and roll bands, all had frontmen or singers that you go, that's Steven Tyler. You know what I mean? They have distinctive rock and roll voices, and this man's got that voice, and he's got the band to back it up.
Do you want to add anything in there, Barry?
No, yes, sir. Amen. No, that's all good.
All right, well, great. We can't wait. No, Can we say the name of the album, when it's coming out?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just going to be called Count 77, and it's going to have 12 original songs, and it's got 2 covers. And the 2 covers has 2 iconic rock and roll songs from the 70s, guitar guys. I don't know if we want to. Do we want to divulge it?
Let's let the cat out bag, but give it the concept. Tell it what we did.
Well, the concept is that what we did is we did 2 iconic 70s rock and roll songs with the original artist guesting on that song.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got 12 originals, 2 covers, and the 2 covers have the original guys playing with us.
Oh, that is going to be so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now, when is it coming out?
April 29th.
Yeah.
2014.
April.
April 29th, Tuesday. Shrapnel Records.
Yeah. Sir.
Yeah. And it'll be available everywhere. I mean, you'll be able to download it on iTunes, of course. It'll be on Amazon, and it'll be on any outlet. You know, the Tower Records still, of course, has like a, I mean, any place that sells CDs or downloads, you will be able to get it. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the record here, Johnny? Sit close to me now. What's your favorite part of the record?
Well, I can't give it away. Again, getting back to original artists who wrote and are performing on the tune. So
He's still trying to get away from me. I terrorize this person. Tell us your favorite part of the record here, Ringo.
that's contagious.
Every single song kicks ass. I love the whole album, but
It rocks. It rocks.
You're right.
Just like Curtis, Stoney said, man, it's a real rock and roll album, man.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's all my question. Anything anybody else wants to add in this fantastic group?
Yeah, you know what? I got something I want to say. This band, I believe that this band is really going places, and I believe that a huge reason of that is from the fact that we've got guys that are completely dedicated to the project. We're serious about it. We take rehearsals serious. We rehearse every week, unless some bizarre schedule thing stops us. Sometimes twice a week. We're constantly stepping up our game. We keep pushing ourselves, and it's a blessing to be able to have a group of guys that will honestly stay dedicated to it, and that's really one of the main reasons why it works. We've also recently been really fortunate. We added keyboards to the group. A cat named Tommy Paris, which
From Brittany
Fox, absolutely, yeah. He is phenomenal. His keyboards are fantastic. So many of our songs, the type of songs that we do, need the right type of keyboard. It's not your janky key. This is some serious, very good, organ style, old B3 style vibe. And Tommy's vocals are amazing as well. So he's been a wonderful addition to the band. I'm sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but yeah, great guy. But anyways, I think it's the dedication, and that's what makes the difference, man. And there is a true brotherhood amongst these guys. I mean, we're all we travel together, we hang out together. There's a true family here. So like 30 years from now, when we're doing the special about how all we hate each other and stuff, we can roll this clip.
It should be mentioned also, that we all got into it for the right reason.
Yes.
We got into it because we loved hanging out with each other. We loved playing music together. We liked the energy of all of us playing music together. And this was before Counting Cars. This was before all this stuff,
Right.
I mean, Danny, he was known in town, and he, of course, was on Pawn Stars and stuff like that, but not, what I mean? We didn't get into it going, let's do it. I mean, we got into it for the right reasons, and I think that's one of the things that keeps us all grounded, is that we truly like each other, and we truly got into it just because we want to play some music and have a good time, and then everything else,
Bonus.
right? It's just bonus, right? I mean, it just kind of, that's just the way it went.
Right.
I
But,
always say for us, it's like we're 16, 17, playing with our friends, kicking ass with way better gear.
Yeah, yeah, with way better gear. Right.
Well, you got your first talk show, you got your first album, and you're going to be your first rock and roll cover magazine, be on Vegas Rocks magazine next month, the March or April issue, whichever you prefer, with the release of your album. So we're really proud of you guys, keeping rock and roll alive here in Vegas. Let's hear it for Count 77. Say, guys, woo! you.
Thanks, Sally. Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you.
Got it.
Sally Steele, Vegas Rocks Magazine. We'll see you in the streets of rock and roll in Vegas Rocks Magazine. Thank you, guys.